Enrique asks a good question. If I'm not mistaken, it could possibly happen, you could make a mistake in your life. Some time ago, the overhead press was the most popular pushing exercise. Can you tell us how the bench press became so popular? Yeah, the bench press is probably one of the newest lifts we have, really. Of course, strength conditioning as we know it isn't very old at all. I mean, obviously it's sneaking up on probably 100 years, but even though really what you would understand as strength and conditioning is probably 60, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. Yeah, there's some belief that Father Judge, the strength coach, if you want to call him a strength coach, but the guy who ran the weight room at Notre Dame University in South Bend, invented the bench press. Now, obviously, there's arguments that it originated in Germany, which would still make sense because Father Judge, as I understand it, was from Germany. Had a wonderful opportunity one time to meet Rocky Blyer, and he's a very famous American. He played in 4 Super Bowls with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he also lost his chunks of his foot in the Vietnam War. So he's a Purple Heart winner and a Super Bowl champion, and just a great guy. His book Fighting Back is fantastic. Well, when I went up to get my book signed, and I said, well, "Can you tell me some stories about Father Judge?" He looked up and he said, "I'd love to. Stand right here. When I'm done with this, let's go out." And we had lunch. We hung out the rest of the day together because people who love weightlifting love stories about Father Judge. When I first bench pressed, there were no pads. So I bench pressed on, basically we would set up a set of tall bricks and then put a board on it, and you would bench press on the board. It was funny because when I was in high school, it wasn't uncommon to see high school boys in the summer with these weird looking cuts and bruises on their back and these 2 parallel lines because they were bench pressing on an unpadded board. Later on, we got a little smarter and we wrapped a towel around it. Why is the bench press so popular is because it's easy. I don't know of a lift that you can go up faster. It ties into what most males want. They want arms and shoulders and pecs, and there you go. And in 1972, because the Olympic press had become so discredited, boy, you look at some of the videos and people pressing, then it looks like a kipping pull-up, another horrible invention. But by 72, they couldn't even legislate it, so they simply dropped it. Now, here's the interesting thing. Oscar State, the head of the weightlifting from Britain, I'm pretty sure, got very sick when they had the meeting, and he was going to do something that would have changed the history of everything. He was going to do the bench press, the snatch, and the clean and jerk, those 3 lifts, as the Olympic lifts. Well, if that would have happened, I don't think there would be power lifts, because that the Olympic sport and bench press, everyone would have lost their mind over that. Weightlifting meets would go on for a long time still, but that's what happened. And I remember when the bench press became the answer to everything. There was about 1972, 73, and I benched twice a day for most of my high school days, and then I never benched again because I never really needed to. So I think it's popular because it's easy. You can put on a lot of weight real fast. It answers that question from Saturday Night Live: what do you bench? But, history is a funny thing, and I'm glad you asked this question, Enrique, because I worry about us forgetting all that stuff. And I know it's a big deal to me, but most listeners don't care. But thank you for the question. I actually enjoyed that. Thank you.